hold on. Can you put this in slightly more basic terms?
Certainly. In essence, Nielsen is arguing that thoughts don't just reside inside the brain, they radiate outward from it. According to this idea, the brain is an ideological transponder, constantly emitting waves of highly politicized energy, which Nielsen called plasm.
Huh, okay.
Stay with us a moment longer. What's more, Nielsen speculated that this plasm, when it becomes powerful enough, might begin to influence the material reality surrounding it. Hence the name, inframaterialism.
Alright.
Unfortunately, Nielsen passed away before
This
he was
seems dumb.
able to develop these initial ideas into a full-fledged theory. That work was left to subsequent generations of communist theorists. Building on Nielsen's basic insight, these theorists reached a startling conclusion that a sufficiently revolutionary state might begin to exhibit certain extra-physical effects based on the amount of plasma generated by its citizens.
Wait, so this isn't even Nielsen's theory. It's his followers.
Correct. Though certain particulars of the theory are commonly attributed to Nielsen himself, the evidentiary basis of those attributions has always been a point of contention between inframaterialists and their critics.
So these people are just saying that if enough people just believe in communism, it will come true?
The actual theory is highly technical, but for the purposes of this brief look, TM, that's a fine working definition of the concept. That's because this is absolute idiocy, not even worth engaging with.
Or I'll just read a few more pages.
Inframaterialists divide the extra-physical effects of the revolutionary state by the level of plasm required to achieve them. At the lowest, or first level, revolutionary plasm is believed to stimulate or invigorate matter without altering its essential properties.
How exactly does plasma stimulate matter?
To take one example, during the revolutionary period, many communard farmers in Grad reported extraordinary yields of certain root vegetables, most notably turnips. The difference in these yields was simply too great to be accounted for by mere climate or soil conditions. The only reasonable explanation, inframaterialists argue, is the high level of revolutionary plasm emanating from the commune itself.
This is something people would say today, I'm sure.
Even today, in parts of the SRV, there are collective farms whose root vegetable yields exceed those thought possible by capitalist agronomists. Who's to say the farmers aren't just cooking the books? Sounds like obvious SRV.
Or maybe something in between.
It's also been postulated that plasm may account for the remarkably full and manly facial hair observed on many communist
Oh, interesting. Well, now it checks out. Oh, stroke your beard proudly. I was just doing that.
Of course, inframaterialists argue that revolutionary plasm may stimulate human physiology in other ways as well. Oh yeah, we're talking about white-hot communist sex, baby.
The only way to do it.
That's correct. Reports from the revolutionary period claim that the most radically devoted communards were able to engage in vigorous intercourse for up to 8 hours at a time.
Oh, maybe when I was younger.
8 hours? There's no way. Your equipment would be mashed to jelly. No wonder the communards couldn't shoot straight. They were too shagged out.
How dare you?
Hyperproductive vegetables and ultra-horny communards are fine. But this theory hasn't quite gotten strange enough for you. Sexual euphoria, increased sensitivity to stimulation. If you didn't know better, you'd say this plasm stuff sounds a lot like being on amphetamines. And on that note, you feel like you've gotten the general idea of inframaterialism, enough to carry on a basic conversation at least. But if you'd like to go even deeper into some of the more speculative aspects of the theory, you could always read further. Of course you want to go deeper. What else are you here for? The book fits quite snugly into your palm.
Oh, keep reading.
Flip forward a few pages until you come upon a chapter titled Mental Projection and Transference. When a community has achieved a sufficiently high degree of revolutionary fervor, inframaterialists believe that second-level effects may be observed.
I would put this book down, but I want the XP.
At this second level, certain hyper-revolutionary individuals may even develop the ability to extend their thoughts into material space and vice versa.
Why do these effects only work for hyper-revolutionary communists?
Because plasm has never been directly observed, the exact mechanism behind these effects remains entirely speculative. In other words, there's no evidence that any of this mind-reading stuff is real. Psst. You know what else lets you feel like you can read minds? Spooky old Pyrrolidon.
Let's let it go.
This should be more than enough for a stimulating discussion. That said, if you're still yearning for more...
Not really, but I'm yearning for more XP, so let's finish the book.
You breeze through the next several sections until you arrive at the final chapter, titled A Communism Above Reality. When a society's revolutionary fervor reaches the third and highest level, inframaterialist theoreticians have postulated that the laws of physics cease to be laws.
What do they become then?
More like suggestions, according to some of the SRV's leading inframaterialists. Of course, it's impossible to say what exactly happens under these conditions. No known society has ever achieved the levels of revolutionary enthusiasm the theory seems to require. Some inframaterialists have even argued that it might require more plasm than humanity alone may be capable of producing.
Wait, are there non-human sources of plasm?
In the SRV, there have been attempts to organize certain species of aquatic mammals, as well as a few of the higher corvids. But as of this writing, only human beings have demonstrated the intellectual capacity for revolutionary communism.
What would a third level society even... Wait, actually, has anyone ever gotten close to reaching the third level?
There are numerous stories from Samara involving bandits or fascist mercenaries being levitated by farmers from the most ideologically advanced communes. Of course, few of these incidents have ever been rigorously investigated or substantiated. The form of these stories also recalls several well-known Samoran folk tales. In particular, the one commonly known as Clever Oleg and the Flying Magistrate.
Oh, we're getting close to leveling up.
Among known attempts to channel third-level capabilities, the most well-documented is the curious case of Coalition warship Debutante.
Oh, I got to know what's that about.
It concerns an interesting series of events that took place during the invasion of Revachol. As Coalition forces made landfall, a cadre of Nielsen's most fervent acolytes attempted to compress a Coalition aerostatic with their collective will. According to Communard law, these acolytes positioned themselves at the top of a redoubt just over the bay of Revachol. From that vantage, they proceeded to visualize pinching Coalition warship Debutante between their fingers, a gesture believed to assist in the extra-physical materialization of their thoughts.
Why didn't they just get some high-powered... Okay, now, did it work?
The acolytes, along with the redoubt, were vaporized in an artillery strike before the process was completed.
That's so sad.
Picture the lot of them.
Imagine all those poor fools.
With their fingers in the air 1 minute. The next, reduced to a bloody mist. It's been said, though, that in the weeks following the battle, the captain of the Debutante noted an increase in incidents of crewmen striking their heads on unexpectedly low bulkheads.
Oh gosh, damn it, that's so silly.
Of course, colorful anecdotes only scratch the surface of what inframaterialists believe may be possible in a truly third-level society.
So what would that even look like?
Some have theorized that such a society would be fundamentally unrecognizable, lacking many of the institutions we typically take for granted in advanced societies, including organized governments, financial institutions, and law enforcement.
Sounds like my kind of jam, to be honest.
Others have argued that people living under third-level conditions will be immune to such infirmities as hunger, disease, and mental illness. In some of his later writings, Nielsen himself speculated about the potential for an extra-physical architecture that disregards the laws of bourgeois physics and instead relies on the revolutionary faith of the people for structural integrity.
It's very Warhammer 40k. That seems like a bad theory to design buildings based on.
Nielsen called it the highest expression of communist principles, a society whose literal foundation is the faith of its people. On the following page, you come across a few black and white reproductions from Nielsen's own notebooks. One sketch depicts a government ministry shaped like a great inverted pyramid, a hectare in width at the top, balanced atop foundations the size of common apartments. Another depicts a leaning tower wrapped in a dramatic helix. The caption beneath it reads, "The Tower of History."
This is such a waste of
Something
time.
about that tower looks awfully familiar. Could
Oh.
it be that's what the students were trying to recreate with the matchboxes?
This might be too much even for me.
That's all right, because you've reached the end of the book. If you'd like to try something different, may we recommend a brief look at Gradian literature?
This sucked. We read this. Oh.
The Greatest Innocence.
Crack open the
by Joao
immense.
Paulo
Sorry, crack open this
Solomão
immense
Lopes.
tome.
Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain.
We won't really have time for this, I don't think. But I will try it.
You can do it. It'll be worth it. There's something here. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. You ready?
Sure, why not?
That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first innocence? Oh yeah, this is what I was made for.
But Dolores Day?
Incorrect. Dolores Day was
Alright.
the innocence of humanism.
You know
Her
what?
Colors. Steer clear of this one. There's something. Yes, the quiz is.
I didn't really
impersonal.
absorb anything of what I
Then
just
go
said.
with your best guess. Isn't that what students are trained to do when they don't know the answer?
Alright, give me all the hints you got.
The pop quiz is a short
Yeah, yeah.
thanks for nothing. Dolores Day. Incorrect. Sola resigned. Correct.
Okay.
As the first
I'm just gonna
question
skip through this
easy.
now.
Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody. Incorrect. Incorrect.
Man.
Even though the words correct. Franco question got it under control. No problem. Solid on this one. Incorrect. Incorrect. Step correct.
I always get it to the
most
last hit.
final- I
Okay.
got it on it. I don't even have to say it anymore. Correct.
Yeah, we got
And
one right.
everything and more. And F. You would have done better if you just left. You are shouting.
Okay. And the little guy gets smaller and smaller as you rise above the dollhouse world. You see him out in the snow, on the streets, in the shop on the corner, and finally in a matchbox house, sitting by the window, white flowers on the windowsill. You can smell them from up here. It's awful. A white morning, a modern death, divorce or something similar. All you can do is put more distance between you and him, make him smaller, make him less you. Plus zoom out distance, really? This is so funny. Okay. Okay, let's try this now. We're gonna forget this shit. We're gonna level up suggestion in a bit. Where is it? It's this jacket, right? This is the one. Okay, now for some fun time assistance. And level up. I'm gonna try this once. If it doesn't work, then I'm just gonna go.
Be careful out there. Seas come.
Get the drink on. It
Yeah.
would be
Yeah, let's just go.
the skiff once you get. Have you made? Remember what the net picker.
Here we go. Sad FM. Better kick in now. Want to be free. This is a banger too. BSP rocks actually. I think this is called Sea Power now, not British Sea Power, which is a good choice, if true. When I first played, I was holding the boombox and Kim was driving the boat. That felt more right. I think Sad FM might be too much for a person to take alone. Look at that oil spill. What a gorgeous game. What a complex world they built.
The boat comes to a slow stop. You turn the engine off. Then there's silence. In the silence, a sputter of wings. A flock of quails takes off in the distance. There is very little wind here today. The ghost is standing still. You look at your arms, then the cliffs above you.
Good, you made it?
Oh, there's my boy.
I mapped the place out, and it looks like both of us aren't gonna make it. This is Death Island, the Hellmore.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. Maybe Kuno's just pessimistic because of the massive speed hangover. I did scout the place out. I can fill you in.
The kid turns away from you, cautiously looking to his left and right. He hasn't been here before, either.